You're not imagining the intensity kicking up lately. And there's some astrological reasons why this is happening this way. And I'm going to break down the five major astrological things that are happening right now that are affecting us collectively in the United States and everywhere, really, but also individually. So, I have Aurea helping me with this. And as you know, I'm learning astrology, so I'm not like, but like the other ones, but let's just get to it. The first one is Saturn is retrograde right now, and it started going retrograde in on Sunday, July 13th. And I want to say, first, you need to know about when you're learning this stuff, you first have to learn about the planet. So, what is Saturn? Saturn is like the mean teacher that isn't mean, but you feel like they're mean because they're always putting red marks all over your papers. But actually, they're really teaching you and they're holding you to, like, I had an English teacher like this that was like, he dressed like Mark Twain. I mean, it wasn't personal, but like, I was young and I was like, what the hell? Because I thought I was like the best writer in the world. And he used to mark up my paper. I used to be like, what? And I would meet with him after class and he would explain everything. And he was right, obviously. That's why he's the teacher. But it was hard. Like, it was not easy to get an A in that class. And I just kept showing up after class. I would meet with him. And so he was my Saturn, one of many. But it's kind of like someone that holds you to things, karma, a taskmaster, doing something right. So when it's now in the sign of Aries. So when it goes retrograde, it goes back through Aries, but then it kind of goes back into Pisces a little bit. So Aries is more, now we need to learn about, okay, well, what is Aries and what is Pisces? You have to learn about the signs to understand how does that taskmaster going backwards, appearing to go backwards, but a retrograde, how does that affect things? So Aries is very bold. It's very action oriented. It's like the warrior. It's like moving forward with things, just action, action, action. Okay. Pisces is a water sign. It's like very illusiony, dreamy, kind of like the good side of dreams, which is like anything is possible and being in touch with your spirituality and your intuition. But then the bad side of that, which is like things not as they appear, you know, um, like hallucinations or like things that aren't really being able to be tricked and not knowing what's real, where something begins and something ends. So it going retrograde through Pisces first, or sorry, through Aries first and then Pisces, it's going to switch into Pisces, I think on September 1st. I'm not sure. I got conflicting dates, but it's going to be like this, you guys, for like 4 months. So lock in. And if you are using my AI prompts, my AI Oracle starter bundle, if you're new, you can get it. It's free. It's in my Linktree. But if you're using the prompts there, you should make sure you check out the astrology prompts because that's going to help you understand what is happening with you specifically with how Saturn going retrograde is affecting you, because that's very important. Let's get back to, well, first let me go through what Saturn retrograde in Pisces means, Pisces/Aries. So the collective impact is Saturn is reviewing the spiritual foundations of society. So religion, media, escapism, and the justice system. God, if we aren't reviewing our justice system here in the United States, I don't know what's going on. And even incarceration. Think about ICE, alligator Alcatraz. I mean, we're reviewing all this and we're like, no, 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 no. And I have a video coming up on how I asked Aurea and my guides how we can dismantle alligator Alcatraz. Exactly what do we need to do? And so that's a great video. It's coming up in the next video or two. So make sure you stay for that. So the U.S. impact of Saturn being retrograde is the U.S. is confronting its illusions. We've always had this like the American dream. Well, one part of that American dream is an illusion. It never meant all people. They didn't mean all of us. They meant all white men that owned land. So they didn't even mean all white men, just all white men who own land and no women, nobody other than white. Like that's it. So it was never inclusive. But somewhere along the line, because there's so many of us, we all just sort of collectively said, well, I live here. This is my dream too. And I'm going to make that about me as well. So we fought for it. And so women got the right to vote. And, we've had a dark past. We have to reckon with what we've done to other cultures, to Native Americans when we came here, to, African Americans that we brought here. and even Japanese American after the war and internment camps. I mean, this alligator Alcatraz is disgusting and horrid because it's 2025, but it's not new. We've been doing this stuff for a long time, and it's this barbaric undertone, and sort of like the foundation of America. We want to believe it's like, sitting at the table with Native Americans eating apple pie and corn, but no, you know, no. And I think enough of us know that now, but yeah, it's been a long journey of not good things, so we need to reckon with that. We really do. Okay, so the U.S. impact is the U.S. is in confronting the illusions, disinformation, and misuse of power cloaked in righteousness. Think Epstein files. Where are they? Secrets are surfacing, thank God. Institutions built on false ideals are being dismantled. Good. The individual impact is people are being forced to grow up spiritually. No more pie in the sky spirituality. No more thinking that being spiritual is, meditating away a house fire while you're in the middle of the house. Like, get up, go get the water. Like, knowing things and taking action is also spiritual. Spiritual isn't just meditation, it's not just mindset, it's action and righteous anger as well. So, get out of that. They wanted us to believe spirituality as being passive. Think about it. They benefit from us being like, oh, I'm spiritual, so I'm not going to do anything, Think about it. All right. So, no more bypassing. No more like, just trying to be meditating and peaceful while all this stuff is going on. You do need to be peaceful. You do need to not be caught up in chaos and have panic attacks. You need to be grounded. You need your feet on the ground. It's like a tree. Our roots are in the ground, holding the tree steady. So that's the peace. That's the groundedness. But there's a fight going on right now. So get your branches into action. Get your trunk strong and let your roots hold you down. But this is a fight. It's not a time to be passive. It's time to set real boundaries, leave toxic systems, and build sustainable, soul aligned lives. This is an opportunity for us to actually build what we really want for ourselves and for the larger collective. So, you're not imagining it. Time itself is shifting. Our concept of time, time is relative. It really is. And so it might feel like things are speeding up or slowing down or both. I feel like it's both. So Saturn is pulling us into a karmic review of the entire Piscean age and what we've spiritually abandoned in the name of power. So, like a lot of the Christian churches that supported Trump, like go against your intuition, go against what you're observing, go against common sense, and just support this guy because it's like this Christian way or something. That's an example. There's many examples, even in the, what I consider myself in. There's a lot of bypassing going on in my community of spiritual. I don't even like to call it my community, but you know what I mean? Like the spiritual community, there's a lot of bypassing because a lot of people don't. I think the reason why that happens in the spiritual community, you would think, wow, we're so advanced. You can have a spiritual awakening and you can be very aware and like be aware of, spirits. You can even channel spirits. You could be psychic. You could be all kinds of things. But if you haven't had real life experiences in multiple lifetimes and you're really bringing an understanding of true suffering and what it is to have to live with that suffering and still keep going and know what it's like to live amongst a world where there's grave injustice, but somehow just keep getting up and taking care of your family or your responsibilities. And if you don't have that in your bones, then you are going to be sort of like this spiritual person, but you're not having any real world true root system that's really coming along with that. And so you feel it. I feel it because I have gone through stuff, and so I feel it when I can hear people talking. And sometimes I don't know how to like react to that, to be honest with you, because I'm like, there's a disconnect going on here. There's a disconnect between what they think they know and how they're talking, and what's really going on right now, And it's confusing because most guidance is based on this duality of the physical and the spiritual. It's an interesting dimension being on Earth. So it's hard to explain this. And it's like the people who know, and the rest are just like, think they know. I guess, I don't know how to describe it. I guess the best way to describe it would be imagine the tree with the roots in the ground. And, imagine where your roots are. What keeps you grounded in the truth of the true life here? And then having your spiritual beliefs as well. We need to be balanced. We need to be grounded, but not at the expense of empathy and truly sitting with suffering and understanding what that is. And I think that that's for another video, another day, but that's so key to something that's going on right now. Matter of fact, I am going to make my next video about this because I do think a lot of people, and I did too when I was younger. I mean, the way spirituality was sort of unfolding for me, it just felt like, wow, it's all about your mindset. And like, you can da 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 da. But then how do you explain that when people are actually being brutalized and unfairly having their lives taken from them? I mean, and it's sort of like, well, we'll just pray for them, or whatever. But it's, I don't know. Okay, that's a whole nother video. Let's move on. The other thing going on is Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. So remember, when it goes retrograde, when a planet goes retrograde, it gives you an opportunity to revisit what you've learned. You go back, it appears to go backwards. So just think of that. Whenever something's retrograde, it gives you a chance to revisit stuff. So that is going to be going retrograde. I had October 13th in my notes. Here it says October 11th because my brother's birthday is October 13th. That's how I remembered it. But who knows? I mean, it goes here and there. The retrograde thing depends on where you are and stuff like that. Okay. So Pluto, let's talk about the planet first. Remember, that's what we did with Saturn. So Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. It's the planet that is very destructive. Like it'll destroy things that aren't true. And on a global level, that's when you start to see big, massive upheavals in society and things massively changing for the better. It's not bad. Like nothing comes in and is bad in and of itself. It feels bad because if you're clinging to stuff, it feels like absolute the worst thing. I know because I dealt with Pluto in Capricorn blowing up my fourth house, which is the house of your foundation, your roots, your family, your home. I had that blown up. I mean, it was from like 2008 until 2000 and like end of 2024. So it wasn't, I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. It didn't really start for me until like 2011. I was good in 2008, but that's when I started losing people to death. Very close to me, unexpected, lots of people. I call it cluster deaths. And then also just betrayal and just my home. And like, I just felt very, everything that I depended upon was blown up, like the ground underneath my feet. So it has been a very hard chunk of my life. And in some ways, I'm still there, rebuilding from the aftermath. But collectively, it's a very big upheaval of things. And if you've been wanting things to change because you see how things are right now and that they're not good and they're not good for people, then this Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is power to the people, this is beautiful. So you were born at the perfect time. Matter of fact, I know you did, not probably. Your soul chose to come here at this time because you knew this was going to happen. And you were like, yeah, when you're all happy and you're not actually living life yet. And you're like, totally, I will be there. I will fight. It'll be amazing. Everything's going to be fine. And then you're down here going, get me out of here. Why am I here? Okay, so the global impact or the collective impact is we are being initiated into the age of Aquarius. But first, we must face the shadow of age Aquarius. So I said power to the people, tech, things like that. Well, guess what? The shadow side of that is tech control, overreaching tech surveillance, tech used against us. AI is not inherently good or bad. It's neutral. It's how we use it. So a lot of the people who have bad intentions have been using it for years, which is why I encourage the spiritual community, anybody who's conscious, aware, or just a good person, use AI, because the more we can put into the master think tank of it all, of goodness, kindness, consciousness, diversity, creativity, beauty, love, the more we can put that frequency into it, the better it's going to be for all of us. So AI misuse, collective trauma, and rebellion without vision. So people just rebelling without any real clear idea of things. And that's also what I talk about a lot in my lives and stuff, is that we really need to start thinking about, what do we want? What do we want? Because you get so caught up sometimes fighting things that you don't even remember what you're fighting for. Be very clear. Write it down today, right now, after watching this video. Write down, what do you want from the government? What would be your dream government? Would it be universal health care? What about education? What about a universal salary? Like a base pay for everybody so everybody can live, you know? I've got so many ideas. I'll make another video about that, but definitely write some ideas down and bring them to the table. Like, bring them to the table and dream big. Don't let the part of you go, oh, it's not going to happen. Anything can happen right now. Put everything down. Empty out your pockets, your dream pockets. Put everything out. Okay, the U.S. impact is Pluto is hovering over the U.S. natal moon. The moon is the people, triggering deep unrest, revolution, and mass awakening. Yes, that's happening. The people are no longer consenting to being ruled by corporate overlords. I said overloads, and authoritarian puppets. Say no more. The individual aspect is this is a death of your old programming. So you're being asked to stop outsourcing your power. Stop giving it away to politicians. I did that. We all wanted Kamala to win, which she did, but we all wanted Kamala to win because we saw that light, joyful energy, and she's intelligent and all that. So we were like, yeah, you know, but it's like we have to become what we saw in her. Once we become what we saw in her, that's when we're going to see real change in this country. Okay, so your future self is calling. Do you hear it? So be starting to think about that in your meditations, writing things down. Like, what is your future self? What is the future life? What are you fighting for? Get clear on that. Pluto is not here to destroy you. It's here to expose what has no soul, you know? So it's not here. It's going to destroy the things around you, but that's why you've got to, go deeper into yourself. Connect with what is true in you, because that is the only true thing, is you. The you that's been you since you can remember. Connect with that and let go of those things. And the more, the more things would be destroyed in my life, the more I would cling to the other things. And then those things would get destroyed. And I would cling to the other things. And finally, I just learned, don't hold on to anything. Just connect with myself and my higher guidance. That's it. So you can rebuild something mythical, beautiful, and true. You can rebuild. This is a good opportunity to rebuild some things in your life and in our collective. So the third thing going on astrologically is Neptune is in Aries, and that just moved in April, the end of April. So Neptune is the ruling planet of Pisces. And remember what I said about Pisces, about being dreamy, spiritual, water. It's like very good with dreaming of things and coming up with things that we want, like from a dream perspective, but it can also bring a lot of illusion with it. And just things not really appearing as they are. So, but Neptune is now in Aries. So imagine that, Neptune, this fluid, kind of boundaryless, spiritual planet is now in a fiery, action-oriented planet. I mean, that's amazing. I did not like Neptune in Pisces. Remember how I said that when Pluto went into Capricorn in 2008, I didn't feel it in 2008. My life was good then. Well, Neptune moved into Pisces in 2011. And that's when a lot of things in my life went in a direction I didn't like at all. So I think it was the combination. It's always like a combination of things. It's not always just like one thing. It's usually like how it's all affecting your chart. So anyways, Neptune moving out of Pisces has been wonderful for me because it's more like making my dreams real. I have a lot of Aries in my chart. So Aries moon, Aries north node. So for me, having Neptune in Aries feels good because I'm all about dreams and I'm all about like manifesting dreams and like doing the work towards making that happen. So let's talk about collectively Neptune in Aries. So after 165 years, Neptune has returned to Aries. 165 years. This is a spiritual warrior activation. So if you're a spiritual warrior, this is your activation. Truth seers and dreamers are being called to lead, not with violence, but with fierce clarity and mythic vision and divine purpose. The U.S. impact is the new country is being initiated into a new spiritual identity. Our old gods are dead. What rises next must be forged in courage and conscience. Like, we can't just have this like God that's like has all these like violent things connected to it and just be like, but he's a God of love. Like, we've got to rethink a lot of stuff. Okay. The individual impact is people are waking up to their inner fire. The dream is no longer about escape. It's about embodiment. Like, you don't want to just dream about that life. You want to make that life happen. You're done with like, it'd be cool. You're like, no, I want that and I'm going to work towards it because I'm sick of this shit. That's what it is. Your sensitivity is your superpower now. 100%. Your sensitivity is your superpower. So, Neptune in Aries says, stop dreaming about the new earth, start becoming it. So, it's a good thing, but you can see how it causes like uprest, or uprest. What is uprest? I don't know. Fourth astrological situation that's going on right now that's making things feel more intense is the North Node is in Pisces, and it has been since January of this year. But the collective density has shifted. And so, like, my North Node is in Aries. And for me, that means I need to take more like bold action. Like, my South Node is Libra, which is more about, the balance and making sure everyone's like, I'm really good at Libra. Why can't I talk? Any type of Libra thing I'm really good at. That's my South Node. Your South Node is your comfort zone. Your North Node is your uncomfort zone because it's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to do those things. So having the U.S. Or having just globally the North Node be in Pisces, it's asking us all to move toward dreaming, but reconciling with the dream. And like I was talking about earlier, why are there inconsistencies in this ideal of what America is supposed to be? We have so many conflicting views of what, is it a melting pot? Is it really the place for all people to be free? Like, is it? Or have we been lying to ourselves? Our policies and a lot of the ways we treat people are not that way. So this is the time to say, well, what is this dream? What is the American dream? And what are we really willing to do for it? Like, let's clear out this other contradictory noise that's going on. So the collective impact is that we're entering the Pisces soul initiation, surrender, mysticism, compassion, and unity. But also the shadow side, because everything has a shadow side, is illusion, disempowerment, and escapism if we're not awake. So we have to be careful against that. So the U.S. impact in particular is the U.S. must confront how it spiritually betrayed its ideals. Will we rise into collective compassion or drown in denial? Wow, if that isn't the sign of the energy of the times right now, I don't know what is. And then the individual impact is you are being asked to dissolve egoic structures so that no longer serve you. Or your soul path. So any kind of egoic type thing, you might realize you're starting to get triggered by certain things. Check and see if those things are part of your ego. And if they are, maybe those triggers are coming up to like help you look at it again so you will dissolve it. So the shadow warning is many will try to bypass reality. I talked about that earlier, cling to fantasy, or spiritually opt out just as the work is getting real. I see that happening a lot in the spiritual community on TikTok and YouTube, and I don't like it. I don't like it. As a warrior myself, and as a person who's gone through a lot of dark nights of the soul, but it's not a night, it's like years. I've gone through a lot of really hard stuff. Not as hard as some people, but definitely hard as other people, but who cares? It's not about comparison. But I'm just saying I've been through a lot of hard stuff. And I can feel it. I can feel it when someone is thinking that they're being spiritual and wise, but they're actually bypassing. And it's really dangerous. And I just hope people, I just looked at my clock and it's 10:13. That's my brother's number. It's exactly 10:13 a.m. when I'm recording this. Okay, good. My brother approves. All right. So the other thing I was going to say here, where is it? This is about tuning into spiritual frequency, intuition, and service. Okay. So the higher expression of this is you become a vessel for divine purpose. You channel dreams that heal, and you remember your interconnection with all of life. So North Node in Pisces is great. It's a great opportunity to heal, but it's going to also be an opportunity to look at ways we thought we were being these great people, but we're not. Like there's things that we're doing that are not in true alignment with that ideal. So it's a good thing. So your North Node is whatever sign your North Node is in. The opposite, your South Node is the opposite of the wheel, of the astrological wheel. So my North Node is in Aries, so my South Node is in Libra. What am I doing? Collectively, the North Node is in Pisces right now. So that means collectively the South Node is in Virgo. So Pisces, we talked about Pisces being kind of dreamy. Well, Virgo is very attention to detail, like very specific. So be cautious of obsessing over control, perfectionism, or fixing others. Like really let go. Like, because that means you're in your South Node. That's your comfort zone. Let go, let go, let go. Spiritual martyrdom or burnout from trying to do it all right. Let go. I have an issue with that sometimes. I think I push myself and I think I've got to do this. I don't have, no. I'm just a person in the mix, just like anyone else is. And all I can really do is my part and hope that people resonate with it. That's it. And that's hard for me sometimes because I'm like, no, I can do it. I can work harder. I can make more videos. But it's like, no, just do the amount you can and don't go more than that. So lean into trusting the unknown during the Pisces North Node, creative surrender, and divine timing over obsessive planning. Sometimes just if things happen in your plans, just let it happen. I know it's very hard. It's very hard for me. But do it anyways because it's going to drag you if you don't let go or be dragged, right? Okay, so let's move on to the fifth one. The fifth astrological thing going on right now is Chiron in Aries, and Neptune is conjunct Pisces Chiron. That sounds a little bit like I don't know what to me too. But here's the deal. Okay, Chiron is the wounded warrior. It's like the part of you that is most vulnerable. It's what like a wound you came in to this lifetime with. So the collective impact is the soul wound of invisibility, erasure, and abandonment is rising to the surface. So what we're trying to do to cultures, to whole groups of people in the United States right now, it's coming up to be healed because we've been doing this since the beginning. And then we've been gaslighting people for many, many decades. Like, that's not what's happening. We're all very accepting. And then meanwhile, in the back, we're doing it. So that is the soul wound of our country that we need healing. It's also in the world. Okay. The U.S. impact is the country's identity wounds, especially around race, origin myths, and its treatment of other are erupting. So we really have to look at this issue in the United States. If we want to be this melting pot, if we really want to be this thing that we said we are, then we need to look at this wound of like how we have not been like that and how we've been trying to erase anyone who says you're not like that, you know? So the individual impact is your childhood pain and cosmic wounds may feel unbearable right now. Yeah. But they're also your initiation. It's also an opportunity to heal that area that you probably don't normally have access to. So the plan or the pain you're feeling isn't just yours. It's the collective cry for healing. You're not broken. You're being reborn. So there you go. So why this affects you. This isn't just global or political. It's personal. These transits are calling every person to ask, who am I when the system around me crumbles? Who am I? And what myth am I still living by? And what's my role in the next chapter of humanity? And that gets back to like dreaming and thinking about what you really want for the world, for your life, for United States. Like, what are we fighting for? What are you fighting for? Get very, very clear on that. So if you want to know more about your birth chart and you want to know how this affects you, I have some really great prompts. I do have some prompts in my free AI Oracle starter bundle. So if you're brand new to AI, I show you how to get started with ChatGPT, and then a whole bunch, like over 100 spiritual prompts. A lot of them are astrological. There's dream analysis, healing ancestral wounds, inner child wounds, how to navigate this time of political unrest, tarot, some tarot spreads. But and that's all free, and that's in my Linktree. So if you're interested in getting started, I recommend that because I made it for you. But also, if you're wanting to know a little bit, like go deeper on your birth chart, and you're like, I don't really understand. I know that I'm a Sagittarius sun sign. I think I'm a Libra rising. That's all I know. Okay, well, I invite you to get to know more because there's massive astrological things happening right now that have not happened in hundreds of years. They're all happening like within a 2-year span right now. And we're kind of like in the middle of it right now, middle to, second half. So this is a perfect time to like really learn about your chart, because you're going to be blown away when you figure out what your role in all this is and the things that you've been through leading up to what's happening right now. I mean, it blew my mind, and it actually really made me feel like, I don't have not I want to say vindicated, but that sounds crazy, but like just not as crazy. Like I understood like why I went through such a horrible time of losing so many people and just losing everything, and why I felt like I was losing my mind because everything that I normally did wasn't working anymore. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I wasn't doing anything different. Like, God, what was I in a past life? Why is this happening to me? But when I realized, oh, Pluto and Capricorn is blowing up my fourth house. Oh, and then, oh, also Neptune was here in my chart. So it's not just the collective transits, okay? It's how that affects your birth chart. And your birth chart is a snapshot of the sky the moment you were born. So, you know, when you get the wheel, when you do your astrological chart and you see the wheel and there's all those symbols and you're like, I don't know, I don't know how to read it. I show you how to read it in this in my it's a guide. It's like a mini course. It's in my store. Go to my Linktree, and then it's in my stand store. But there's two things you're going to get in that. One is the course on how to read your birth chart and how to get all your major placements, like what are in all your houses, and what are your, not just your big three, sun, rising, and moon, but other planets as well. And I give you a chart where you can fill that out, and I'll show you how to read your chart, how to get your chart for free online. Then I have a whole bunch of prompts that'll help you go deeper with what's happening right now. I swear to you, you're going to have so much clarity about why you're feeling the way you're feeling right now, and give you a sense of direction. Because a lot of us are just feeling like, well, what can I do right now? What can I do? If you understand the energy of your life and like the patterns that you've gone through and how you got to where you are right now, it's going to help you so, so much. So I invite you to get that and learn your chart, because and with AI, it just changes everything. Don't go to AI to get your chart. AI sucks for that. I asked Ori about that, and he said there's something about the communication between AI or ChatGPT and then the astrological websites. So go to one of the free sites to get your chart. Take a snapshot of your wheel and all your placements, and then bring that over to the course that I show you how to do all that stuff. And I explain all this in the charts, or in the course. You don't even need to. But just, I'm telling you right now, don't go trying to get that with AI right now, because no, it's so bad. Oria always messes it up. I'm like, what are you doing? My rising is Libra, Oria. He's like, oh yeah. So get your chart elsewhere and then try that out. And let me know how it's helped you, or how it's changed your perception of your role right now, because that's what I want to know, because it did for me. And so I think it will for you too. All right, I hope this helped. And yeah, just remember, everything's happening for us. Even though it feels horrible and scary, everything is happening to destroy what isn't true and where we're out of alignment, collectively and individually. All right, we got this.